Hi, I'm Dele Olawanle of Dele and Co. Solicitors. Contact us for advice and representation and advocacy in all areas of immigration law. We take your case from the onset until the conclusion of the case. We provide a one-stop service and we provide advice and representation and advocacy.
Dele & Co. Solicitors. We're friendly, professional and cost-effective. A one-stop shop for immigration affairs as we take your case from the onset and represent you in court if necessary. Located at 659 Green Lanes, Haringey, London, N80QY. We're only 4 minutes walk from the Turnpike Lane tube station on the Piccadilly line. Call 0208 880 9393. That's 0208 880 9393 for more information.
Dele and Co. Solicitors. Legal advice you can rely on.
Hello viewers, welcome to today's edition of the Legal Panorama. I am Winnet St. Luce and with me in the studio today is Mr. Dele Olawanle of Dele & Co. Solicitors. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome too.
So sir, could you just please tell the viewers what this program is all about?
This is Legal Panorama, and the purpose of this program is to educate immigrants and citizens alike on the UK immigration law, to let them know how it works, what and what cannot be done, the rights, the duties, the obligations, especially in this ever-changing legal landscape that even judges and lawyers are struggling to understand the law, to flow, to get the flow of it. Ours is to take the law and simplify it and let the people know that, well, this is what they can do and this is what they cannot do. If there are changes, we bring it to the attention of the people. Whether you are a citizen, you may have friends who need legal advice or who will need legal assistance or legal representation. If you hear something here, then you can tell them that, look, you heard this, and then they can sort themselves out and get further legal advice. This program has been going on for almost 12 years on a daily basis, and it's enjoyed a wide coverage. So if this is your first time of watching, welcome to my world. Don't change the dial. It's the safest place to be, and tell your friends about it, that there's an educative program on TV about UK immigration law.
Thank you, sir. So with 2016 ending and 2017 starting, what are viewers to expect?
2016 has been an interesting year in which the Home Office have tried to withdraw appeal rights for immigrants, people whose applications are refused, in that they want a lot of people to be appealing outside the country and then to deport first and appeal later and things like that. So it has been an interesting year. Recently they tried to increase the appeal fees from £140 for oral hearing to £800, from £80 to £410 for paper hearing. At the moment, we are waiting to see what happens with that. That was about 500% increase. 2017 is going to be interesting. We wait to see the miracle that will be performed by the Home Secretary and the Home Office. But whatever is going to happen, we are always ready as lawyers to dissect the law and bring out the best to do our best in the interest of the clients. Nothing to worry about. The more the law changes, the more lawyers become innovative. So it's going to be an interesting year.
So what would you say are some of the most interesting developments so far?
This year, I mean, as a lot of people are being refused without a right of appeal, And where they are given a right of appeal is a right of appeal outside the UK. So what they are saying is that you leave the United Kingdom and you go and appeal from abroad. And for anyone experienced in immigration law, you will know that once you leave the country, it's as good as dead, because the case is as good as dead, because when some people get to their country, they won't be able to, they will lose the stomach for a fight. And also the urge to fight for the case, and the cost of legal representation will be difficult. And also some of the evidence needed to fight the case, maybe in the UK, then all those may be lost. So it is an interesting development. Also, the increase of the appeal fee from £140 for an oral hearing to £800, and for paper hearing from £80 to £410, which is about 500% increase. But that is being challenged at the moment, and there's a consultation group fighting that to make sure that it doesn't happen. The interesting thing is that some of the clients that were granted the right of appeal recently were asked to pay £800, and then they reversed it and said they should pay 140. So miracle is still happening in the immigration arena. So we see what is going to happen next year. We look for happen in 2007. Then we look forward with glee as 2016 is ending. I'll say it's a glorious note, because a lot of cases have been won, a lot of battles have been fought on behalf of people who had challenges with the immigration authority. A lot of people also were detained towards the end of this year by asking them to report, and when they report, some of them were detained. But also, your Home Office are also releasing people whose case are meritorious, and who have no risk of absconding. They are tagging some people so that they can be traced. So it's interesting, and 2017 also will be an interesting year. We look forward to it.
Thank you, sir. So in your own view, what are the biggest problems facing immigrants right now?
One of the major issues that the immigrant community are facing is the fact that a lot of them have been labeled as maybe economic migrants, despite the fact that some of them meant well, some of them are, a lot of people are being labeled unnecessarily as benefit scroungers, those scroungers, people coming here to milk the welfare economy. But also you find that a lot of immigrants are not in that category. They are well educated, and are people who are engaged in creditable endeavors to contribute to the economy. And if you look at what happened with Brexit, where the UK voted to leave the European Union, you will find that it was the same perception. And I remember a joke that a client of mine said that after 4 days, when the Brexit vote was concluded, the neighbor saw him and said that, "Oh, I thought you would be gone by now." So they just thought that by voting everybody will leave. Brexit may also never happen. And then you see that there's been a lot of attacks also on immigrants, because of the general perception. But I believe that the interesting thing is that over the years there will be a lot of changes in policies, and also for the think tank group to see that immigrants are not just here to to take benefits or to use the NHS, but also they are here to make contributions, and that is also what I will encourage anyone that is in this society to do, to engage in creditable endeavors, to add value, and to see that they do a lot for their community, and that way they will be seen as people that are here to integrate and to make contributions.
So why is the government clamping down so much on immigrants?
That is an interesting question. The starting point is that the government have the right to control the influx of foreign nationals into her territory. Just like you as an individual, you have the right to control who enters into your house, who comes to stay in your house, who gains access to your house. The same thing with the government. They cannot allow everyone to come and live in Britain. It's a small island. They cannot allow everyone that have their application refused to remain, and if not, they will not be able to plan for the economy. They will not be able to know what is going on, because when they plan the budget, they believe that they know how many people are in the UK, but they found out also that there are many people that are here without permission. Some came as illegal entrants. Some became overstayers. Some had their appeals and their cases concluded, and they remained here. And so they have seen that those also have had a boomerang effect on the NHS, on housing, on the welfare benefits and things like that. So, and also some of the few bad eggs among immigrants also have been engaged in petty crimes. So they are looking at the fact that, well, they've got to introduce sanity to the economy and to the society to make sure that people living here are safe. So they have been putting people in check to make sure that they control who stays and who goes. And I believe they have the right to do that. Just like you have a right to control who comes into your house. But all the that we say as lawyers is that it's got to be done legally. Also, it's got to be done with an eye for kindness, with an eye of mercy. For example, if you look at the way the immigration appeal fee was raised from £140 to £800, there is nothing like a milk of kindness there. That was a bond of I don't know what to say. So, I mean, they have a right to clamp down, but they have to do it with compassion.
So what can people do to regularize their stay?
Their stay, I mean, regularization falls into several categories. There are people who had leave to remain, and whose leave is about to expire. I've seen a lot of people who ran into difficulties recently. They had a visa, but they did not extend their leave on time. Some of them left it till about 28 days before making their application for extension of leave. And as a result of that, they were sacked. There was one painful case that the guy was doing a £72,000 a year job. The wife was on £50,000 a year, and because they did not make their application on time, for the employers to be able to check with the Home Office to say that they still have the right to work, they lost their jobs. So people like that, what they can do is to make sure that they put in their application in my own view about 2 months before the expiration of their leave, so that by the time their visa expired, the Home Office will have put them on the system, and their record will be there, so that if the employers want to check with the Home Office whether they have a valid application, whether the application was made on time, whether they still have a right to work, they'll be able to check. For people who have no leave to remain in the United Kingdom, maybe as illegal entrants or as overstayers, no one is being encouraged to fall into that category, because it is a criminal offense, and they are breaking the law by entering the UK illegally or by overstaying their leave. But yet, what they can do is to first get legal advice. Who are illegal entrants? Illegal entrants are people who came into the UK using a false identity, maybe people like those claiming asylum later, but entering the country without declaring who they are. Maybe someone coming in using another person's passport to come into the UK, and those are called illegal entrants. The overstayers are people who used to have the right to remain in the UK, and the visa expired without them renewing it or extending it, or maybe they had their cases dismissed, or their appeal dismissed, or their application refused, and they did not regularize their stay. Those are overstayers. If you ask me that what is the difference between them, I'll say they are cousins, because they both have no right to remain in the United Kingdom. But also, they can regularize their stay. They can make an application for leave to remain. They can ask the Home Office to look at their case again. So, but before they do that, they need to get legal advice to know that what can I do about my situation, what are the, and then to know the cost and things like that. So the most important thing is that if there's anyone in that category, whether you are a legal entrant, whether you are an overstayer, whether you are someone whose leave is about to expire, get legal advice, because some of the rules may have changed, the fees may have changed. I remember a client that came recently applying for indefinite leave to remain for a family of 7. And I told him that his fee is £1,875 times 7. He almost fainted. He almost fainted. I couldn't believe it. He said, "Where am I going to see that?" I said, "Well, you have to find it somehow. If not, you'll become an overstayer." He went and came a day before the expiration of his leave. I felt sorry for him, but so people need to know this in advance so they can go and see a lawyer maybe 5 months or 6 months or 4 months before the expiration of their leave, so that they can put together the money to pay the application fees and so on.
So with appeals, how can your firm, Dele & Solicitors, assist people?
We are a one-stop firm when it comes to immigration appeals, and I argue most of the cases in the UK, whether we're talking of Newcastle upon Tyne, whether you're talking of Birmingham, you're talking of Stoke-on-Trent, you're talking of Manchester, Piccadilly, you're talking of Hatton Cross, Taylor House in London, and just name it. What happens is that if there's anyone who has been granted a right of appeal, they have to understand that there's always a time limit, whether you are within the UK or abroad. We can help them to draft a grant of appeal. We can help them to lodge their appeal. We can represent them in court. So we can take the case and prepare the case and help them to put the case together in readiness for their appeal, and to let them know the procedure and how things work. And it is always good when you have an appeal, whether you are confident of winning the appeal or not, to see a lawyer, to see whether there's an error of law, whether there's an omission, and to see whether there's prospect and things like that. So getting legal advice immediately after getting a refusal is second to none. Is the best thing to do. I remember there was a particular person whose application was refused, and with a right of appeal, and he put it under his pillow and started praying and fasting until the time expired. So I think that is a modernized foolishness. It should not happen. Go and get a lawyer, get legal advice. If you want Dele and Co. Solicitors to represent you on appeal, we are always ready.
Thank you, sir. So what of people who have not been given a right of appeal? What can they do?
There is a lot that is happening with the Home Office. One of the things that happens is appeals applications being refused without a right of appeal, or they give you a right of appeal outside the UK. In some cases, the appeals applications are certified on the basis that it's a rubbish case, and that it is clearly satisfied as unfounded. Now, if you get a decision like this, you have the option of just packing your load and say, well, to your tent, O Israel, and leave the country. But if you feel unjustly denied, or you feel uncomfortable with the refusal, you can challenge it. The first step is to challenge it with a judicial review pre-action protocol, and then eventually, if that is not resolved, then you can go for judicial review, whether at the High Court or at the upper tribunal. But it is not something I will advise anyone to do themselves, because when it comes to being granted being refused without a right of appeal, it becomes a technical issue. It becomes a purely legal matter, in that you have to know what are the grounds for whether to challenge the particular application, and in most cases it is not open to a lay person, a layman or laywoman, to know what to do. It is very interesting. I remember I spoke to a former client today whose application was refused, and then she went and she was granted a right of appeal. Very, very unfortunate. And I did not know about it. Someone advised her not to appeal against the decision, and that instead that she should make a fresh application. And so she did that. And then the application was refused immediately. And if the person had appealed against the decision, the right to work will have continued.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for answering all these questions today. And thank you so much to our viewers for tuning in to today's edition of the Legal Panorama. Now, if you require more information, if you would like to see Mr. Dele Olawanle in person, feel free to contact the number on your screen. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for tuning in to The Legal Panorama, presented by Dele Olawanle of Dele & Co. Solicitors. Talk to Dele & Co. Solicitors. We can professionally help you in the following areas: obtaining and/or extending your visa, asylum, humanitarian protection and discretionary leave, application for overstayers, immigration and asylum appeals, judicial review at the High Court, Tier 1 to 5 under the point system, including post-study work, fiancé visas, settlement applications, indefinite leave to remain, ILR, neutralisation, citizenship, entry clearance and appeal against visa refusals abroad, reconsideration of visa refusals abroad. In addition, we do other areas of law like family, traffic offences, employment, civil and criminal litigation and advocacy. If you need legal advice, call Dele & Co. Solicitors now on 0208 880 9393 or visit our website www.delsolicitors.co.uk. Dele & Co Solicitors, legal advice you can rely on.
From one of the best authors, Dele Olawanle, comes 5 empowering new books.
Hello friends, I'm Dele Olawanle. If there's any word I have for you today, it is simple. Read to lead. Read to lead. Readers are leaders. Over the years, I've written several books that have changed and transformed lives beyond their widest imagination. My first book, Discover Your Purpose, is simply saying that if you discover who you are, all hell will break loose. You'll be able to fulfill your destiny. And the second book says, prayer is not the answer. Now, as a pastor, some of you know me as a pastor, some of you know me as a lawyer, but a lot of people are praying without a corresponding action on their part. And if you only pray without playing your part, failure is guaranteed. Prayer is not the answer, it's to challenge you to pray and to work hard and to become an influencer of generations. The third book, Add Value, is saying to you simply that, look, if you add value to your life, there is no barrier to success. Now, people come to me from over 52 countries to instruct me as a lawyer. Why? Because I added value to my life. Irrespective of your gender, your color, your nationality, your ethnic origin, if you have what people want, when you add value, they will come to you, they will patronize you. And the fourth book says, if you have everything and you don't have good character, all hell will break loose. Denied by character also will change your life. The latest blockbuster, forwarded by Pastor Kumoyi of Deeper Life, is saying to you that, look, there are patterns to failure, there are patterns to success. So if you break the pattern of failure in this book, breaking the pattern of failure, your life will be transformed, and then you will be a winner. I want you to understand that revelation liberates, knowledge delivers. Go on and make it, and I'll see you at the top.
All these books available as Kindle edition or paperback and are available at Amazon, Waterstones, and all other good bookstores. Visit online at PastorDele.com, or you can call 07535 659 032. 5 empowering new books by Dele Olawanle. Get your copy today.